You are listening to 600 Saga. Today's feature is The Heart of Greenness by Funny Shuto. Dad is in the garden. I'm almost convinced that if I look hard enough, I will find him among the leaves, under the shade of the yawning yew tree. I slide the glass door open and feel the wind's playful touch on my cheek, refreshing and sweet like lemonade. I haven't been home for a long, too long time. I last saw the garden in winter. Everything was sleeping under a thin, ashen blanket of dirty snow. Ice lace clung from the windows. Crows cawed. Roots, buds, and shoots lay unconscious in the ground, waiting for the touch of warmth to bring them to life. The air felt clean and somehow empty. There were no pollens or smells. It had the white sterility of hospital rooms. My face hurt from the cold, crisp air, and my breath came in small smoke chokes. A soaring icicle came rushing past my ear, and it pierced the snow in front of me. I fled back to the warmth of the room, and then to the silence of my own apartment. I couldn't return for months. I missed spring and the violence of renewal. But now I'm here. If spring is rebirth, summer is life itself, and I desperately need to find Dad. The colorful smells rush into my nose. They make me dizzy. Nature is almost obscenely alive and intense. It's in stark contrast with the bleak desert sprawling inside me. I descend the slippery stairs. Colonies of moss have invaded the cracks. The unstoppable proliferation of life. Nobody has cleaned them out. Everything seems greener than in my memories, and through the prism of tears I discover yet unknown shades of jade, emerald, and ivy. The wetness of my eyelashes is echoed in the puddles hiding under bushes, trembling with every touch of the breeze. Memories bloom in my mind. Dad taught me the names of the trees. I was a tiny girl with a mop of unruly hair, dirty overalls, and 2 big glasses. He explained with such enthusiasm and love, as if he was sharing a secret family history. Oak, birch, poplar, all sleeping giants. A soldier, a captain, and a lieutenant, all fighting for the love of the same beautiful widow, the weeping willow, watching them from behind her veil of leaves. I always rooted for the birch tree because I loved its peeling white bark. But in my father's stories, it was always the oak who won. I've forgotten these things, but they bubble up in me like water from the tiny fountain we used to have in the heart of the garden. Dad used to make everything into stories. He knew I would remember things better if it was padded with the more than truth of fairy tales. When I was small, I followed him around like a smitten duckling and drank in his words. I helped him with anything he deemed me strong enough to do. Then adolescence hit, and I was more interested in beauty and boys than the silly stories of my old man. I paid careful attention that my nail polish was perfect, matching in color with my outfit, and I couldn't possibly ruin it by digging in the garden, soiling my hand with the fat earth. Dad came to accept the new order of things without complaining. He never tried to persuade me. He never said anything. He just wrapped himself into a deeper silence. I saw the sadness in the deepening wrinkles around his eyes, but I chose to ignore it. My head was full of more important ideas. I didn't listen to him anymore, and he went on telling his stories to the empty garden. I'm losing myself in a sea of grass, amazed and shocked how violently vegetation takes over if there's no one to keep it in check. Our decent suburban garden had turned into an untamed jungle, an inferno of ivy, weed, and mosquitoes. The summer heat is bearing upon me. My skin is melting, but I don't give up. I continue my descent into the heart of greenness, led only by the faintest of hope. I travel through tales and memories, winding my way across the hell of forgetting. One turn, one more curtain of leaves, and I arrive to the middle. The fountain is still there, sun-bleached and ridden with lichen and moss. Its once elegant shape only a memory. It hasn't been spurting water for years. Its well ran dry when Dad first fell ill. I peer inside its tray to discover some more moss, dead bugs, and a thin sliver of water, a remnant of yesterday's storms. I glimpse my flickering image. The girl with unruly hair and starry eyes long gone. I see an executive director too busy to come home when her father was dying. My reflection is shaking, violent sobs reverberate through it, and the dried-up fountain starts shedding water again. All the sadness I'd been holding down to preserve my mask of composure erupts from me, and with it the last speck of hope is also gone. If you need me, I'll be in the garden, Dad would always say as he disappeared into the endless green. I needed him more than ever. He was the only one who could comfort me, and now I'm alone to cope with the fact that he was no more. I don't know how much time I spent crouching at the foot of the weather-worn fountain, but twilight has crawled upon the sky, its sea blue turning into purplish orange like a fresh bruise. It's the violet hour, Dad would say, a time when boundaries melt and miracles happen. I hear my name in the wind. It's faint and ever so weak, but I hear it. Dad? I ask, jumping up. I see him then. I laugh and I cry because he's been here all along. I can see his face in the knobbly bark of the oak, and I feel the touch of his hand in the unruly shapes of the bushes and thickets, and his smile warms me in the taste of sweet wild strawberries. As the violet hour turns into night, I head out of the garden. I don't dare look back, afraid that I might lose what I have found in the heart of greenness. Sadness still haunts me, but despair has lifted from my heart, its place taken by the faint light of reassurance. This was The Heart of Greenness by Fanny Chouteau. Fanny Chouteau writes poetry, short stories, and a growing number of novels in progress. She publishes in English and Hungarian, and finds inspiration in reading, paintings, and music. She writes about everything which comes her way or goes bump in the night. She tries to find the magical in the everyday, and likes to spy on the secret life of cities and their inhabitants. Previous publications include The Casket of Fictional Delights, Tincture Journal, Enchanted Conversations, Fun Dead Publications. Find more on her website, inkmapsandmacaroons.com. Check our show notes for links. Music is provided by Mads. Learn more about 600 Second Saga, our authors, how to submit your flash fiction, and how to support the podcast in the show notes. This has been Mariah Avix and 600 Second Saga.